Welcome to this short presentation to demonstrate the workings of the Eclipse BookBuild A350 version 1. My name is Martin Davison and I work in the Aerospace and Defence department of Mecon as an aerospace and defence consultant. I've worked in technical publications for quite a long time and been involved in S1000D since about 1995. Helped to introduce S1000D to the UK MOD as part of DEF Stand 0060. Also supported iSpec 2200 and currently provides support and development for Mecon products. This is very much a look at the functionality and an overview of the functionality of the application. We do have another application called Eclipse BookBuild S1000D, and that handles the building of books in a completely different way. The amount of options you have with this particular application, the BookBuild for A350, is very much reduced. So it's the operation is very much simpler from a user's point of view. So we're going to have a look at the actual overview of what BookBuild A350 does, and then we're going to look at the features and the process, and then a brief demonstration. This application provides a very rapid way to produce an A350 CMM publication from S1000D Data Modules. Of course, the data modules and supporting files must be located in a suitably structured environment. The data modules themselves have clearly got to conform to the A350 spec, as must the folder structure, as must the supporting files. And if you assume all of the above are conformant, then producing the CMM is really just 2 or 3 clicks away. And assuming all the files are right and you've got everything in the right place, the output of this application is a component maintenance manual, and it's contained in a high quality PDF file. All the cross-referencing is taken care of, and the output, the PDF file, or a printout from it, is suitable for sending to Airbus. So the BookBuild provides you with the structure and formatting which is in compliance with Airbus. The illustrated parts list indexes are automatically generated by our application, and the IPL indexes are generated. That's the numerical one and the equipment designators index. Both of those are created completely automatically for you. Now, of course, the building of a CMM obviously can take quite a long time. So this application, BookBuild A350, provides a comprehensive logging display for this facility. It shows you the current activity displayed with the timestamp. The information is visible during build and also saved to a log file. References to other data modules are reported, and those that are detected are included in the logging file. Those that have not been resolved are also included in the logging file, just to make sure that in fact you can then go through it afterwards and find out if you've made a mistake in the cross-referencing. Missing files and graphics are also reported, because one of the main things is that if it doesn't have all the files in there, then it won't actually work. It stops the build completely. Now, assuming we've created all the necessary files, what we're going to do now is to look at a new A350 BookBuild project. So, before you start, you need to make sure of one or two things. First of all your data modules have to be compliant with the A350 CDIM. The data modules and graphics have got to be in a folder structure which is also compliant with A350. And you then import the publication module into BookBuild, check the structure is correct, and check that PM entry types are correct. So what do we mean about a correct folder structure? The A350 CDIM dictates the folder structure. So you can see the folder structure in the graphic here. And each of the folders must have in it what is expected to be in there. So the publication module needs to be located in there. So does the data module list and the data module dispatch note. They all need to be located in the right place according to the CDIM before this application will work. Before we have a look at this properly, what I'm showing you here now on the screen is the structure view that you can see in the FrameMaker structure view. And basically you have to look at that to make sure that everything's in place. what you're looking at now is FrameMaker 2015, and what I'm going to do is to open up this data module here, which is actually a publication module for something that we've already had in existence. So what we're going to do then is to look at this and have a quick look through it and say, okay, here's the structure that we've got. Let me reduce the structure in the view there down to 90%, and I'll pull that down there so you can see more of it. So what we've got here then is the PM entry file, and each of the PM entries has got, as you can see, let me reduce the size. Okay, so these are all the PM entries, and these are set up by the publication module. We don't do anything extra to that. You've got virtually no control over the formatting because it complies with the actual specification itself. What you have to do also is, while you're there, is to make sure that you've actually got the right value in this attribute here. It's important that you do that. If you don't have the right value in that attribute, then the CDIM the book will not comply to the CDIM, and it can be rejected. It's this number here, this value, that gives you actually the various items and what they're called in the publication, the dividers. So just to prove that, what you can see now in the right-hand screen here, right-hand window, is in fact each of the PM entries that we have in this particular publication. And there's the PM entry type is in there as a 51, 52, a 54, and the IPD here is a PMT 55. There are other PMT values, and they have to be attached to the right PM entry for it to work correctly. So when you've got to the position where you're happy with what you've got in the way of source material, then you just go to the menu option, Build Book, and away it goes. Having satisfied ourselves that everything is working correctly from the point of view of construction and configuration, what we need to do then is to start the build process. And it's a two-stage process. We build the book and then we print it. So we start off with the first stage. We need to build the book. The first thing that happens, of course, is we get a message to tell us that actually it could take quite a long time to build the book, and clearly we want to continue at this stage. We're then asked to enter the component module. Well, you will have a component module which you can put in. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 just to start things off, and then the application will then start creating the book. And it does that by creating a log console, which I've just clicked into. And at this stage, what we're doing is making absolutely sure that everything is happening that should be happening, and you can see that the feedback here is actually quite comprehensive. And when the application gets towards the bottom end of the build, you'll see that there's an area there which says data module reference, and it quotes the data module reference and it tells whether you've resolved it or not. And it continues until it reaches the end of the build process, and it tells you there that how many resolved RefDMs you have and how many unresolved ones. If you're expecting everything to be resolved, then you need to go through the area where it says it's unresolved and have a look and see if you can find out actually what the files where it's not working properly. And then when you reach the end, this is the end of the build process. So it's taken 8 minutes to do this particular one, and it tells you that the end of the book build actually has been successful. So what we have at this point is we'll have an indicator to say that the book build has been successful to create a book file. What we have to do now is to convert that book file into an actual publication, and we do that by using the menu option, Print the Book. Having successfully built the book, what we need to do now is to sort of create an output, and we do that by selecting the Print Book option on the menu. And as before, the log console opens up, and we'll see it starts to work its way down through, and we'll let this run so you can see how it works and what happens at various points. It creates a book file, a FrameMaker book file, and then it sends the print options, and then it sets the paper sizes, and then it starts to print the book itself. In a moment it will tell us that it's actually created the PDF file, and then we can go and have a look at it. So it's completed printing to PDF. So we've now created the PDF file, and what we need to do now is to go to that PDF file and have a look to see what it's like. What you can see now is the front page of the book that has been created. If we select on here, we get the thumbnails, and we can see the various thumbnails. So we can see there that we actually we've created a list of effective data modules. That was the one that came with the publication. And we can scroll down and we can go to the various other parts. So there's the table of contents, which was created outside of the application. Here we've got product cross-reference tables, because they're all in there, conditions cross-reference tables, and then we come down to the actual publication itself, and you can see that, let's make it a bit bigger, shall we? Let's go up to 75%, you'll see it a bit easier then. So you can see that what we've got now is we've got the publication, the pictures are all in there, and everything is working as it should. And if we now scroll down to this area here, which is the parts list, equipment designator index, we don't have that at the moment. The next bit is the numerical index. This has been generated during the build process. That actually has gone to, as you can see, it's not a very large parts list, but we've created a numerical list from it. And then we come to the parts list proper. There's the illustration, and there's the parts list. So it's handled all of that for you. And that is a publication which can then be sent off. It's a CMM created from A350 compliant S1000D Data Modules. That's the end of this presentation. If you'd like to have any further information, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me on the Aerospace and Defence Department, and we'll arrange for a specific presentation to you or something like that. Thank you very much for viewing this, and I hope that you have found this presentation useful.